On today's show, a Silverado has a growth spurt, a Tesla goes the distance, and we have the engine for your next project. Plus, we're talking collector cars with Matt Farah. I'm Dana Simone, and this is Hagerty's Daily Driver. Buckle up. First up, Tuner Hennessey Performance just released a video of their upgraded 6x6 Chevy Silverado, which they call Goliath. Hennessey starts with a new Silverado, then they lift it 8 inches, extend the bed, and bolt on another axle. And it's not just for show either. Power can be sent to all 6 wheels. And that power comes from a 2.9-liter supercharger bolted to Chevy's 6.2-liter V8. The cost? $375,000. And if you prefer ovals more than bow ties, they also offer a 6-wheel drive Ford Raptor. Moving on. If electric cars give you range anxiety, this might help. The EPA says the Tesla Model S Long Range Plus gets an official range of 402 miles. That's a big increase over the Model S P100D's previous range of 335 miles. So how'd they do it? The wheels are narrower and more aerodynamic. The tires have less rolling resistance, and the front motors were improved. This Tesla also offers a new regenerative braking feature and sends more energy to the battery pack. Lastly, the whole car is lighter than before, although Tesla hasn't said by how much. So this all adds up to 20% improvement without changing the battery pack. But if you prefer a louder commute, GM Performance has just the thing, a new and improved LS crate motor. Meet the LS 427 570. As reported by Hagerty, this engine is a replacement for the famous LS 7. That engine debuted in the 2006 Corvette Z06 and was praised for its broad torque, strength, and sky-high redline. It's a 505 horsepower legend. But before you shed any tears, the new motor produces 570 horsepower and 540 pound-feet of torque. Downsides, they ditched the dry sump oil system for a more traditional setup. And that makes it easier to install and drops the price tag. Affordable, reliable power? I mean, that's a dream for any project car. This engine is perfect for a 66 Nova or a 3rd-gen Corvette, but we'd like to see it in something a bit different. Maybe a Jensen Interceptor, or I don't know, a John Deere tractor? Let us know in the comments what you'd put this in. And if you want more details on the engine, click the link below to read the article. Coming up, we're talking to automotive journalist Matt Farah. Matt has been a host on 3 automotive TV shows, has a YouTube channel with nearly 1 million subscribers, and hosts one of the top automotive podcasts. He's driven everything under the sun, has an eclectic garage, and always seems to be one step ahead of the automotive trends. We'll be asking him what he thinks the next collectible is, but first.
Despite genetic similarities, siblings often harbor tension between each other. This can result in provocation against the older counterpart. But these are merely attempts to discover his place in the family. Cobalt.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Matt Farah. How you doing today, Matt?
Good morning. How are you?
Great. Thank you for joining us here on Hagerty's Daily Driver.
My pleasure. What can I do for you?
Yes. So you definitely have had quite the collection of cars over the years. You have everything from a Mini Cooper to an H1 Hummer. Can you tell us what is in your garage now?
I actually traded that Hummer for the Mini Cooper. That's the most interesting part of that is I might be the only person to ever do a straight up trade from an H1 to a Mini Cooper. Well, right now, my garage in Venice is completely empty because I've moved all my cars to my new garage, Westside Collector Car Storage, insured by Hagerty. And so if you were to go to Westside Collector Car Storage at 6804 South Centinela Avenue in Playa Vista, you would find my cars. My 1988 Lamborghini Countach is there. My 1987 Porsche 911 Keen Project Safari car is over there. And then my wife, the lovely Hannah, She drives a 1991 Mitsubishi Delica Exceed Star Wagon Turbo D. You have any idea what that is?
No, but I did own a Mitsubishi
It's
Eclipse back in the day.
It's a van that's imported from Japan.
Well, let's circle back to that Countach a little bit, because you have quite the unicorn there, which is pretty exciting. There was only 2,000 made for that model year, right?
2,000 Countaches, give or take, from 74 to 90. Of those, 607 are Quattro Valvoles. Of those, less than 200 are fuel-injected cars, which mine is. Mine is an 88 fuel-injected car. The good news is, the dude who was selling it was an honorable dude. He lived like 5 miles from me. I had extensive seat time in the car, so I knew what I was getting into, and I bought it out of a fresh service. And so what I ended up doing was taking delivery of a perfectly functional vehicle and driving it. And I just started to drive it, and I put 7,000 kilometers on it in the last year, which was 25% increase in the miles. And it is absolutely fantastic. Wherever you go with a Lamborghini Countach, you win. You are the winner.
All right, so let's switch to market trends. What do you think is the next big car that's going to be on the collector's market?
Pretty much the peak of Japanese quality is 1998 to 2002. As those vehicles become 25 years old, you are going to see a mad rush for people to be importing them, and not just. I'm not just talking about right-hand drive stuff like Skylines. I'm talking about stuff that was that also was sold as like left-hand drive European cars that were sold in Japan, like Carrera RSs and stuff like that. But certainly we're going to see the Skyline R34s are already enormous, and I think that end 90s period of Japan build quality is going to be enormous. I mean, didn't we just see last week a $50,000 Civic Si? I mean, it almost seems like the world has gone mad, but
definitely.
As people start to realize that lightweight manual transmission, premium versions of economy cars, the kind of car you could almost afford in high school, but not quite. As people realize that, holy hell, there's none of these left in this condition, and I have enough money to afford an M3, but I don't want to buy an M3. I really wish I was driving a 2000 Civic Si. I mean, I think that sounds crazy, but it's actually a reasonably sane position. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us so early here on Hagerty's Daily Driver, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
You're welcome.
And that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out with us, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for all the top stories. Keep driving.